Have you ever felt something wasn't quite right about someone? A subtle tension in the air, an unease that lingers when they're around, as if their very presence drains the energy from the room. You can't explain it, but deep down, your instincts whisper a warning. Evil doesn't always appear as an obvious villain. It rarely comes with a sinister grin or a dramatic reveal. Instead, it wears a mask, one of charm, friendliness, and even helpfulness. The most dangerous individuals don't openly declare their intentions. They don't need a reason to harm you because cruelty and deception are woven into their nature. They manipulate, deceive, and control, not through force, but through the slow erosion of your confidence, your peace, and your perception of reality. Stoic philosophy teaches us to guard our minds and spirits, to remain aware of what is within our control. One of the most essential life skills is learning to recognize those who mean us harm before they get too close. Because the truth is, malevolence is rarely obvious until it's too late. But here's the good news. Evil always leaves a trail. It may try to conceal itself behind false kindness and smooth words, but there are undeniable warning signs, red flags that, if you pay attention, will expose a person's true character. Learning to spot these clues can protect not just your peace of mind, but your entire sense of self. In this video, I will reveal 6 powerful red flags that expose toxic, manipulative individuals. These signs will help you not only avoid unnecessary pain, but also reclaim your strength and control over your life. If you're committed to protecting your peace and strengthening your mindset, consider subscribing. Now, let's get into it. Red flag first, they constantly lie or manipulate the truth. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Without honesty, everything crumbles. But for toxic individuals, truth holds no value, not because they need to lie, but because they want to. Deception is their way of life. At first, their lies seem small, minor exaggerations, tiny distortions. But over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. One day, they tell you something with absolute certainty. Later, when confronted, they deny ever saying it. And if you push back, they don't just deflect. They turn the blame onto you. You're misremembering. You're being too sensitive. You're imagining things. That's the trap. A manipulator doesn't just lie. They reshape reality itself. They gaslight you, twisting events so that you start second-guessing your own memory, instincts, even your ability to trust yourself. A confused mind is easy to control, so ask yourself, how many times could they have told the truth but didn't? Do they lie even when honesty costs them nothing? Because for them, lying isn't just about avoiding consequences, it's about power. But you don't have to play their game. The moment you recognize this pattern, you reclaim your power. You detach from their influence and, most importantly, you trust yourself again. Red flag 2. They love conflict. Most people seek harmony, even in disagreements. They aim to resolve issues, maintain respect, or at the very least, step away from unnecessary turmoil. But toxic individuals, they don't just tolerate conflict, they feed on it. These individuals aren't drawn to resolution, they are drawn to destruction. Unlike those who seek peace or closure, they create chaos for their own amusement or control. They initiate drama, set people against one another, and revel in the disorder they orchestrate. They don't just argue when necessary, they stir up trouble where none exists. They plant subtle doubts, disguise manipulation as innocent remarks, and drop misleading comments at just the right moment to spark tension. Their tactics are insidious. They whisper seeds of conflict into conversations, making you question others' motives, trust, and loyalty. The smallest suggestion can ignite friction between friends, colleagues, or even family members. Then, as the conflict unfolds, they step back and watch. They rarely appear as the aggressor. Instead, they let their carefully placed words do the work, allowing others to act on emotions they have skillfully provoked. To them, this is power, controlling outcomes without ever getting their hands dirty. A Stoic mindset teaches us to preserve our peace, regardless of external chaos. But these individuals aim to dismantle precisely that, your inner stability. They delight in provocation, feed off of rising tension, and push people toward emotional reactions. Sometimes there's no real motive. Chaos itself is the reward. Recognizing this behavior is key to protecting yourself. Pay attention to patterns. Do they consistently stir up arguments but claim innocence? Do they turn minor disagreements into full-blown conflicts? Do they always seem to be at the center of division, yet never take responsibility? If so, you're dealing with someone who doesn't just experience conflict, they manufacture it. The best defense? Do not engage. You don't have to fight a battle that was designed solely for their entertainment. Refuse to be pulled into their web. Step back, protect your energy, and remain rooted in your own stability. True strength lies not in reacting to their chaos, but in choosing peace despite it. If you sense someone in your life enjoys conflict too much, take note. These individuals are not simply dramatic or argumentative, they are strategic. Their goal isn't resolution, it's control. By steering clear of their games, you take back your power. The moment you stop participating in their cycle, they lose their influence over you. Your peace is more valuable than their need for conflict. Red flag 3, they make you feel like everything is your fault. A toxic person's most effective weapon is self-doubt. They manipulate situations so skillfully that over time, you begin to question yourself instead of their actions. Instead of taking responsibility for their behavior, they shift the blame onto you. And before you realize it, you start apologizing for things that were never your fault to begin with. At first, it's subtle. You express frustration over something they did, and they tell you, you're overreacting. You recall an event differently, and they insist, that never happened. You confront them about a hurtful comment, and they scoff, you're too sensitive. Each time, they plant a seed of doubt in your mind. Maybe you did misunderstand. Maybe you are too emotional. Maybe the problem isn't them, it's you. This is gaslighting, one of the most insidious forms of emotional manipulation. Its purpose is to erode your confidence so that you no longer trust your own perceptions. A master manipulator doesn't need physical force or outright threats. They just need you to second-guess yourself until you rely on them to define reality. When you're caught in this web, it feels disorienting. One moment, you're sure of what happened. The next, you're lost in a fog of uncertainty, defending your sanity rather than your argument. And the more you doubt yourself, the easier you are to control. But here's the truth. Someone who genuinely cares about you will listen, even when they don't agree. They will validate your emotions, even if they see things differently. They won't twist reality to avoid accountability or make you feel like your feelings are invalid. So ask yourself, do you constantly feel the need to justify your emotions? Do you walk on eggshells, afraid that any disagreement will turn into a battle where you're the one at fault? If so, you may be dealing with a toxic person who thrives on making you question your own reality. The Stoics teach us to trust reason, to see things as they are, and to remain grounded in truth. But gaslighting is designed to pull you away from truth, making you doubt even your own experiences. Once you begin seeking external validation for what you already know to be true, you hand over control of your mind to someone else. Your thoughts, emotions, and perceptions are valid. You do not need permission to believe in your own reality. If someone consistently makes you feel like you're the problem, it's time to take a step back. Recognize their tactics, refuse to engage in their distorted narratives, and most importantly, reclaim your confidence. You are not overreacting, you are not imagining things, and you are not responsible for carrying the weight of someone else's refusal to take accountability. Your peace of mind is worth more than their manipulations. Trust yourself, stand firm, and refuse to let anyone rewrite your reality. Red flag 4, they play the eternal victim. Some people refuse to take responsibility for their actions, instead crafting a narrative where they are always the victim. No matter the situation, they find a way to shift blame, manipulate emotions, and garner sympathy. This behavior is not about seeking genuine support, it is a strategic tactic to evade accountability and keep others emotionally invested in their struggles. At first, their victimhood seems justified. They share stories of past betrayals, misfortunes, or injustices that make you feel compelled to support them. You empathize, offering kindness, patience, and even sacrificing your own needs to help them. But over time, a pattern emerges. Their problems never seem to improve, no matter how much assistance they receive. They are always suffering, always wronged, always struggling, yet never taking any meaningful steps to change their circumstances. When things go wrong, they do not reflect or seek solutions. Instead, they look for someone to blame. It could be a difficult past, an unfair system, or even you. If you try to hold them accountable, they react defensively, twisting the situation so that you feel guilty for even suggesting they might bear some responsibility. How could you be so insensitive? You don't understand what I've been through. I thought you cared about me. These phrases are not mere expressions of hurt. They are calculated tools to make you question yourself and back down. This manipulative victimhood is a means of control. By making you feel guilty, they ensure that you keep prioritizing their needs over your own. You become entangled in their cycle of suffering, constantly trying to help them but never seeing real progress. The more you invest in them, the more they drain your emotional energy, making you feel obligated to stay, even when it is clear that they do not truly want to change. The Stoics teach us that while suffering is inevitable, how we respond to it is within our control. True strength comes from facing hardships with resilience and responsibility, not by using them as a weapon to manipulate others. A person who perpetually sees themselves as a victim forfeits their power to grow and change. Worse yet, they attempt to pull others into their cycle of avoidance and blame. So ask yourself, are you constantly making excuses for someone's destructive behavior because of their past? Do you feel guilty for setting boundaries, as if prioritizing yourself is an act of cruelty? If so, you may be dealing with someone who weaponizes their struggles to manipulate and control. Recognizing this pattern is crucial. You are not responsible for fixing someone who refuses to help themselves. You do not have to sacrifice your well-being for someone who only takes without giving. Your empathy is a gift, not a leash. Choose to give it to those who value growth, not those who use suffering as a means of control. Stand firm, set boundaries, and remember, true victims seek healing, not endless validation. Red flag 5. They constantly criticize you, but never acknowledge your success as criticism, when constructive, helps us grow. But when someone constantly points out your flaws while refusing to acknowledge your achievements, their intent isn't to help, it's to diminish you. A toxic person won't celebrate your victories, no matter how hard you work or how much you improve. Instead, they'll find ways to downplay your efforts, shift the goalposts, or make you feel as though your success is insignificant. At first, their criticism may seem like tough love. They may present it as honest feedback, claiming they only want the best for you. But over time, the pattern becomes clear. No matter what you achieve, they always find something negative to highlight. If you secure a promotion, they might say, "It's about time." If you accomplish a personal goal, they may dismiss it with, "Anyone could have done that." Their words may seem casual, but their impact is calculated to ensure you never feel truly confident in yourself. These individuals are not interested in your progress. They are interested in control. They criticize not to help you improve, but to plant seeds of doubt, making you feel as if you are never good enough. And as your self-esteem erodes, you may start seeking their approval, hoping that one day they will finally recognize your worth. But that day never comes. The more you strive for validation, the more they withhold it, keeping you in a cycle of self-doubt and dependency. This type of behavior is insidious because it often disguises itself as concern. "I'm just being honest. I'm trying to keep you grounded. I don't want you to get a big ego." But the reality is, a truly supportive person will balance constructive feedback with encouragement. They will recognize your strengths and celebrate your wins while helping you grow. A toxic person, on the other hand, only focuses on your shortcomings, real or imagined. The Stoics teach us that external validation is fleeting and that true confidence must come from within. However, even the strongest mind can be worn down by relentless negativity. If someone in your life constantly criticizes but never uplifts, it's worth asking yourself, are they genuinely trying to help, or are they trying to keep you small? If you find yourself doubting your worth because of someone else's constant negativity, take a step back. You do not need their approval to validate your success. Your achievements are real, your growth is meaningful, and no one has the right to make you feel otherwise. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your progress, not those who seek to diminish it. True support is uplifting, not oppressive. Protect your confidence, trust in your abilities, and never let someone else's insecurity define your worth. Final thoughts. Recognizing these red flags isn't always easy, especially when emotions are involved. When you care about someone, it's natural to want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You may excuse their behavior, hoping they will change. You may convince yourself that you're overreacting or being too harsh. But here's the truth. Awareness is power. The sooner you acknowledge these patterns, the sooner you can reclaim your strength. Toxic people don't just drain your energy. They distort your reality. They manipulate, control, and wear down your confidence. They make you question your worth, your instincts, and even your memories. But you are not powerless. The moment you recognize these behaviors for what they are, you gain the ability to choose, to step back. You don't have to engage with those who thrive on negativity or emotional chaos. To protect yourself, your mental and emotional well-being matter more than maintaining a toxic relationship. To reclaim your peace, true peace comes from setting firm boundaries and refusing to tolerate manipulation. Even if it means distancing yourself from someone you once trusted, your well-being must come first. You are not obligated to stay in relationships that drain you, diminish your self-worth, or make you question your reality. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. The truth is, some people will never change. No amount of patience, love, or understanding will make them respect you or treat you better. Their behavior is not a reflection of your value, it is a reflection of who they are. The only thing you can control is how much access you allow them to have to your life. Ask yourself, are you constantly second-guessing yourself? Do you feel emotionally exhausted after interacting with certain people? Do you hesitate to express your thoughts or feelings because you fear criticism, guilt-tripping, or manipulation? These are signs that your boundaries are being violated. And boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to yourself. Yes to your peace. Yes to your confidence. Yes to a life free from toxic influences. It's not easy to walk away, especially from people you've known for years. But staying in toxic relationships out of guilt, obligation, or fear of loneliness will only rob you of your happiness. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, honesty, and support. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who encourage your growth, and who celebrate your success rather than undermine it. If someone continually disrupts your peace, recognize that you have the right to walk away. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It takes courage to choose yourself, to break free from unhealthy patterns, and to trust that you are worthy of better. And when you do, you create space for healthier connections, for genuine support, and for the kind of relationships that bring joy rather than pain. If this video resonated with you, I encourage you to share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever encountered someone like this? How did you handle it? Your story could help someone else recognize the warning signs and take action to protect themselves. You are not alone in this journey, and by speaking up, you may give someone else the strength to step away from toxicity and reclaim their peace. And if you're on a path of self-growth, I invite you to subscribe. There's so much more to explore about mastering your mindset, setting boundaries, and cultivating the resilience needed to navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. Remember, protecting your peace is an ongoing process. It's about recognizing when something or someone is no longer serving your well-being and making the conscious decision to choose yourself. It's about learning to trust your instincts again, to rebuild your confidence, and to surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you. Until next time, trust your instincts, guard your mind, and protect your peace. It's not that impressive. I've done better. Let's see if you can actually keep it up. They refuse to let you feel proud of your success. Instead, they chip away at your confidence, ensuring you remain dependent on their approval that will never come. This behavior is not about helping you improve, it's about maintaining control. By constantly finding fault, they keep you in a state of self-doubt. Breaking free from their influence, a genuinely supportive person will acknowledge both your strengths and your areas for growth. They will offer constructive feedback, not relentless discouragement. The Stoics teach us to stand firm in what we know to be true. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Recognizing when someone is trying to diminish your achievements is crucial. Their criticism is not a reflection of your worth, but of their own insecurities. How to respond? Recognize the pattern. If someone never acknowledges your growth but always finds ways to criticize, take note. That is not tough love, that is manipulation. Stop seeking their approval. No amount of effort will satisfy someone determined to see you as inadequate. Stop trying to prove yourself to those who refuse to recognize your value. Surround yourself with genuine support. True friends, mentors, and loved ones want to see you succeed. They celebrate your wins and encourage your growth. Those who constantly belittle you do not belong in your inner circle. Trust yourself. Your progress is real. You do not need validation from someone who refuses to see it. Constant criticism, when left unchecked, can erode your self-worth. But once you recognize it for what it is, a tool of control, you take back your power. Refuse to let someone else define your success. Stand firm in your growth, and never allow the words of an insecure person to dictate your self-worth. And if you dare to feel even a moment of pride in yourself, they will be right there to remind you of everything you could have done better. Imagine this. You pour weeks into a project, pushing yourself to achieve something meaningful. When you finally complete it, you feel a deep sense of accomplishment, eager to share your success with someone close to you. But instead of encouragement, you're met with a cold shrug and a dismissive, "Well, that's good, but you could have done better." Or worse, they immediately compare your achievement to theirs. They make sure to remind you they've done more, done better, and always will. This isn't constructive criticism. This is intentional erosion. A Stoic understands that external validation is fleeting, but even the strongest mind can be worn down by relentless negativity. Evil people understand this all too well. They don't want you to grow, they want you to doubt yourself. They aim to plant a seed of insecurity, ensuring that over time you begin to trust their voice more than your own. The most insidious part, while they work to diminish your successes, they endlessly elevate their own. They boast about their achievements, their skills, their superiority, always positioning themselves above you. Their goal isn't just to make you feel small, it's to make themselves feel powerful. But here's what you must remember. Their words do not define you. The Stoics teach us to measure ourselves by our own principles, by our own progress, not by the opinions of those who seek to break us down. If someone in your life constantly criticizes but never encourages you, stop and ask yourself, what do they gain from this? And more importantly, what are you losing by keeping them around? No one has the right to make you feel unworthy. Recognize the pattern. Protect your mind. Never let someone else's bitterness become the measure of your worth. Step away from those who seek only to diminish you. Your growth is not theirs to control. Red flag 6th, they display no empathy or compassion. If there is one trait that separates the virtuous from the wicked, it is empathy. The ability to share in another's joy, to feel another's pain, to recognize the humanity in those around us. This is what connects people, what binds us together. But an evil person, they feel nothing, not for you, not for anyone. Their indifference is chilling. You could be suffering, breaking under the weight of grief, and they would stand there unmoved. If they acknowledge your pain at all, it will be with cold detachment. Well, life's unfair. Or worse, they'll twist the moment to make it about themselves, steering the conversation away as if your emotions are an inconvenience. Imagine experiencing a deep personal loss, a death in the family, a devastating failure, a heartbreak. You turn to them, hoping for understanding, even the smallest display of kindness. But instead of comfort, you receive a blank stare, a shrug, or a dismissive remark like, "It happens to everyone." In that moment, their lack of humanity is impossible to ignore. The Stoics teach us to temper our emotions, to remain resilient in the face of adversity. But they never advocate for coldness. True strength does not mean a lack of empathy. It means choosing to act with wisdom and compassion. But evil people mistake apathy for power. They don't see others as fellow human beings. To them, people are tools, things to be used, discarded, or ignored when no longer beneficial. Their emotional emptiness creates a suffocating presence. When you are around them, you don't feel seen. You feel invisible. You don't feel understood. You feel discarded. You begin to realize that to them, your emotions don't matter. Your pain is insignificant. Your joy is unimportant. And when you recognize this truth, you see them for who they really are. Someone devoid of empathy, incapable of meaningful connection. How to protect yourself? A person without empathy will never truly care for you. They will only use you. The moment you stop serving their interests, they will discard you without hesitation. Here's how you protect yourself. Acknowledge their lack of empathy. Stop making excuses for them. If someone consistently shows no concern for your emotions, believe what their actions are telling you. Stop seeking emotional validation from them. They will not provide the support you need. The sooner you stop expecting empathy from them, the sooner you reclaim your peace. Set firm boundaries. Emotionally detached people will continue to drain you unless you limit their influence. Protect your energy by keeping a healthy distance. Surround yourself with genuine support. Seek relationships that nourish your soul, not those that make you feel invisible. True friends care. They don't dismiss your feelings or turn everything into a competition. Remember your worth. You are not weak for having emotions. Empathy is strength, not a flaw. Their inability to feel for others is their shortcoming, not yours. When someone lacks empathy, they see nothing in you but what they can take. The only way to win their game is to stop playing. Recognize their apathy for what it is, a reflection of them, not you, and walk away. Final thought: the presence of an unempathetic person in your life will slowly drain you, making you question your own needs, your emotions, and your very right to be heard. But once you recognize this trait for what it is, you reclaim your power. The Stoics teach us to guard our peace, to protect our inner world from those who seek to destroy it. That wisdom has never been more relevant. Let go of those who lack empathy. Surround yourself with people who see you, people who value you, because your feelings matter, and the right people will never make you question that. You feel alone, and that is exactly how they want you to feel, because isolation makes you easier to control. But here's the truth: you are not small. You are not invisible. If someone consistently dismisses your emotions, ignores your struggles, or treats you as insignificant, they are revealing their true nature. Believe them. A person without empathy is not just emotionally distant or bad at expressing feelings. They are dangerous. Because if they don't care about your pain, they won't hesitate to cause it. Recognize the warning. Protect your spirit. And never waste your time searching for warmth in someone who has none to give. The absence of empathy is not just a flaw, it is a red flag, a sign that tells you to walk away before their emptiness drains you too. I know this can be hard to process. Recognizing these warning signs isn't always easy, especially when emotions are involved, when you want to believe the best in someone. But understanding these signs can save you from years of pain, manipulation, and self-doubt. Evil people don't always announce themselves. They slip into your life quietly, gradually chipping away at your confidence, your peace, and your sense of self. But here's what you must remember. You don't owe your energy to those who drain you. The moment you recognize these patterns, you have a choice. To step back, to protect yourself, to reclaim your power, even if it's difficult, even if it means walking away from someone you once trusted. Your peace is worth more than their presence. If this message resonates with you, I want to hear from you. Have you ever encountered someone like this? How did you handle it? Or are you still navigating that situation? Share your story in the comments. You never know who might need to hear it. And if you're on a journey of self-growth and self-protection, subscribe. There's so much more to explore about recognizing toxic people, building resilience, and mastering your mindset. Until next time, take care of your heart, guard your mind, and always trust your instincts.